Hey, it's Vanessa, and I just finished recording a podcast, Vitality Conversations, and those happen with guests. And I have to tell you that nearly every conversation I've had on a podcast, it all keeps going back to this same conversation, and it's happening organically without me bringing it up, which tells me energetically, this is a topic that's up for the collective right now. So I decided I would honor that energy and dive into it with you here organically off the cuff. Let's see where this conversation goes. So if you're new here, welcome. So glad that you're tuning in. My name is Vanessa, obviously, and I have been in the field of energy psychology for the past 2+ decades. And it's what lights me up. It's what gives me fuel. It is my mission, my passion, my vision, especially having been energetically sensitive my entire life and really just wanting a context to understand what is going on energetically and how to best navigate it. And so it is part of my purpose to have those conversations for a love letter to my younger self and a love blast to all of you out there that are becoming more energetically sensitive, that your intuition is getting stronger and louder and more refined, that you're noticing a lot of systems and structures breaking down, breaking through, changing in this larger paradigm collective shift that we're going through. And you're going, what is my role in all of that? That's what I talk about here on this channel. If that's what interests you and you want to be part of that conversation, then please grab a cup of tea, have a seat, and let's talk. So, the topic that I didn't even mention that we're going to go into today, I'm all excited, can you tell? Because I love talking with people, and I've been having the best conversations on this podcast, my podcast, Check the Energy, for the Vitality series. And the topic that I'm going to be going into today, again, off the cuff, wherever I'm feeling the energy wants to lead me, is who you really are. That's the topic. Because every guest, though they have a different background, different expertise in vitality, different healing journey, different message for the world, right? Their own unique message that they're bringing to and through for them. At least once it has become a focal point for all of these conversations to start talking about who are we really? And what does that mean for um, how we show up in the world, for what we do, for the choices that we make, for the conversations that we have? Who are you really? And that's a different kind of conversation than what we used to have when we are talking about what do we do for work, or conversations that steered our life in a direction that was a little more surface level. There's a rise right now within us energetically to get to know the truth of who we are, the truth of why we're here, what the specific role is that we are here to play in this paradigm shift. That's beginning to awaken in a very loud way. It used to be subtle, right? We used to have these inklings of, I know I need to do something different, or I had a dream or a vision, but it's not like that anymore. You may have noticed. You may have noticed that it's getting louder. It's getting more specific. It's getting more nuanced. You're feeling and experiencing yourself and your healing journey and your transformation process and the path, really, your path, your purpose, and your potential is um, not just morphing, it's manifesting in new and different kinds of ways. It's because the real you is emerging, and the real you is, your unique human self, like how you're designed, the unique gifts that you have, and your soul self, right? It's this beautiful alchemical relationship that we have. We're no longer living solely from that human perspective. The soul is like the light breaking through of the clouds, that if you were sitting next to me, you could see the clouds over there. There's the light is just bursting through us individually. Getting my hair. This is making my hair get excited as well. And that is a time that I have been looking forward to. It's a time that I relish experiencing. It's a time that gives me fortitude and resilience when I'm met with, my own sticky parts or my own challenges. It helps me discern, right? It's like when you have your light able to shine through and illuminate whatever is happening in your world with someone specific, with the path ahead, with how you run your day-to-day life, you see things differently. It's not just a perspective shift, though that is one of the outcomes. It's a consciousness change. Your consciousness is quite literally expanding. Sometimes it feels very uncomfortable. Sometimes we meet ourselves in disarray and sometimes despair when our belief systems of what we think life should be like, or what life is, or how we're supposed to be, that starts changing. Except the really cool thing about this whole conversation around who we really are is that as soon as we entertain the idea that we are more than what we have known ourselves to be, we are more than what we can currently realize and remember. We just make the acknowledgement, like we know we are more than this. There is a strength and a determination and a commitment that comes through you in a very different way, right? This is it's interesting. I find this so interesting. Just roll with me. As you can see, I'm super excited about this topic. What I find so interesting is having been in this, umbrella of the personal growth or self-development world for since I'll say 98, 2000-ish for me, is it started off really like change your mindset and just think a different thought. And yeah, it was just more like change the mental with the mental. And it's gone like so far beyond that now into into the inarticulable. You know what I mean? It's like we feel the light rising in us in a way that it can be challenging to articulate. And here's what I want to tell you today. I want to tell you to just let the light rise, to just let your light express, however that looks. You don't have to have all the clarity. You don't have to have all the confidence. You don't have to have 20 million embodiment practices checked off your list. So I like lists. So if you want to create a list, I highly recommend that. If you watch any of my videos or ever worked with me one-on-one, you'll probably hear me say like 10 times why don't you make a list? I'm a list maker. But we no longer have to categorize or contextualize or contain our light in the way that we did before. It's like our mental capacity, our mental desire to like, what is happening? How do we break it down? Can we put it into a strategy? How do we organize it? And it's not that we should ignore that altogether. That absolutely serves. It's very helpful to create a structure around our awakening process. It's very helpful to understand context around how we are recalibrating with our spiritual identity upgrade. It's helpful. It is, and I highly recommend it. I have programs for that. One of them's called New Paradigm You. Uh, I pretty much actually everything on my website is all related to the spiritual identity upgrade that we're going through and how to best navigate the energy of this time and align your purpose with this paradigm shift. So, please, if that calls you, please do go to my website, vasmith.com. I'm not really here to plug or sell, though I'm happy to do so, because I believe and I know and I've seen the importance, not just in the work with me, but just in the observation of how humanity is changing, right? There's a different conversation that we are desiring, having, initiating, right? There's that rise, like let it rise, let it express in you however it wants to. Follow the light in you. And when you're not, when you're following something else, when you're scrambled. And so when you start to make those distinctions for yourself, you say, aha, like I know my light feels differently. And just even making that statement will begin to liberate you from those spaces of limitation where you boxed yourself in unnecessarily. And who you really are is emerging, and you're getting to know yourself in all new ways. I know I am. And I know that through that lens of rapid expansion, of my own spiritual identity shift, I'm discovering things about myself I had no idea. And I'm seeing my wounds and challenges and, aspects of my personality from a different angle when I'm holding it in this larger, I want to say a larger love, understanding, like, or, just this larger space of grace, this larger space of like something is shifting and I feel it and I'm grateful. Um, it's a different way to move through the world, to know that and acknowledge and be a witness to your light that is emerging, and to stay in the question of it. Who am I really? And you may have a different answer every day. But if you start to make a list, no, but seriously, if you start to track it, right? Like, what are the ways that you showed up differently today? What are the ways that your light wanted to or did express itself today? Start to notice, because our brains, our lovely little technology that we have up there, it's meant to work for us, believe it or not, but it doesn't until we energetically direct it, right? Like, we have to be at that helm. And so if you allow your light to be at the helm of how your mentals are working, then you can start using the word light, start using the new me that is emerging, start using the terms my soul self. And as you do that, transmutation, alchemy, transformation, like inner union, these pieces begin to click into place. And this baggage that you've been holding on to starts to release. And the visions that come through you start to actualize or become manifest, or at least present you with the connections and the opportunities to bring them forward, right? The new earth comes through us. We are the paradigm shift. And when we create the paradigm shift from this emerging light of who we really are, our beautiful self, soul self, and our like very uniquely designed human self, and they merge together and then get expressed out into the world, it's a different game. It's a different day-to-day experience. It's a different relationship that you have with people. It's a different connection that you have with nature. It's a different way to operate your work and your money and your health and all of that, right? It's different. So I'm just going off the cuff of what wanted to come through after I just felt really lit up from, the conversation that I had on the podcast that I just recorded. You'll know because I have this you'll probably see it fairly soon because we shared the same background in it. So that's a little adventure clue for you. You'll have to look for the podcast when I put it up that has the same background. As you might know, if you've watched any of the podcasts where I have guests on, we generally have the same background because I love that shared visual space. And that is also what's happening with who we really are is that light, that grace and space within us is emerging. So we're kind of sharing the same background with our human self. So it stands as, the physical backdrop as well as a metaphorical kind of a reminder that, it's not our human self kind of getting to know our spirit self. It's like, it's a dance, you know? Our soul's getting to know our humans getting to know our soul. We're seeing what that looks like as we go through our daily life and how we can really bring our light through. And we're, again, getting to know ourselves more moment to moment. And that's a cool game to play, in my opinion. That's a different kind of energy to bring to this larger collective shift that we're in. It's a third way, right? We've got this old camp that's like breaking down over here. And then we've got this vision of what could be on this side. And then we've got this pathway in the middle, which is what's coming through us. Like it's coming, the light is coming through us. And in order to really learn and discover who we really are, is we've got to be vital. We've got to have strength in our system. Build your system right now. Optimize your vitality. Create your own apothecary. I do this because mine is like up there. Create your own apothecary. Connect with people that lift you up so you can better navigate those dynamics that feel like they pull you down. Like this is a time to be a very active and conscious participant in your life. The old victim archetypes, they're going by the wayside. That's old paradigm stuff. We're in a very different time now. And any excuses, any holdback mechanisms that you've developed out of, your own wounding or, defense mechanism or for whatever reason, like it's just not time for that anymore. And it's simply time for really being your spirituality, however you define that, the light in, like connecting with the light in you in a very grounded, very in your body, not escaping out of your head and just, or maybe just focusing on the mental stuff, but like strengthen your body, strengthen your physical body, be vital. Like we know what it feels like to not be vital. If you are not new to my channel, I had a ride in the past year. I mention it a lot of times because it was really, really tough. And with my own health and vitality over the past year in particular, and in varying parts over the course of my life, as I really just tried to create space for the light in me to emerge. And I feel like I've recalibrated and upgraded like more times than I can count. And so that is the path forward, is the stronger that we can be physically the more vital we can be physically, the more steady and brilliant of a container that we can be for our own light to emerge. And to have that be conveyed through us very consistently. And when that happens, then you really discover the truth of who you are. And you remember, you awaken, you remember. And in this moment, when I feel that close connection with the new me that is emerging and that is here in this moment, feels really gratifying, very grounding, and also very, very happy. Makes me feel like really authentically happy. Yeah. So that's what I have to share with you today. That's what's coming through to tune into this energy, tune into your light, allow your light to be expressed in the world, and through that and through the strengthening of your physical body, the vitality of your physical body, more and more light can shine through you. And then you will know who you are, and you will know what you're here to do, because you'll remember and you'll simply just start doing it. So with that, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. I didn't do the spiel at the beginning, but if you are new or returning, welcome. So glad you're here. Please do like, subscribe, comment, click to get notifications, share with your friends, all that good social media stuff so this gets out to more people. Oh man, grace be with you and grace be with me. I'm super grateful. It has been a journey. I look back on some of the videos that I put up and some of the videos I haven't put up, and man, I am glad to be on the other side of that. Like, yeah, not feeling vital feeling. So may it last as long as it's going to last, and may I continue commit to bringing forward my life and my light, and may you as well. All right, see you later.